Hello and welcome to Lecture 1, Feudalism and Vocabulary. Today's learning objective is to learn the terms used in describing the next unit of study to better understand the time period we are studying. Our first term is feudalism, a social and political system in medieval Europe that helped the organization of people to better serve their king, their land. First thing I want you guys to look at is that you have the majority of the people down at the bottom. These are going to be your workers, your serfs, blacksmiths, any kind of odd jobs you have. In the middle, you're going to have fewer people, and those are going to be your nobles, your clergy, your knights. And at the very top, you're going to have the fewest people, okay? And these have the most power, the most privilege. And they're going to be your kings, queens, and in this right side, you have the Pope. As this lecture continues, we will be talking more about those other people in detail, so just bear with me. Our next term, allegiance, meaning loyalty or commitment of a subordinate to a superior or of an individual to a group or cause. This is very important in the feudal system because, as we saw in the last slide, you had that different levels or tiers of people, and so one needed to be loyal to the one above them. Right, so you have the very bottom, the peasants. They were loyal to the knights and the nobles, and then above them, you have the king or the pope or whoever's at the very top of the church. And so this is very important because if you were loyal to your king or queen, that meant you would fight for them, and in return they would, provide protection to you. Next term, vassal, a person in a subordinate, lower in rank position to another. So as you can see in the image, you have the king, who is superior, and you have the vassal down here, who is a subordinate or lower than them in rank. So the vassal, in this case, if you look at him, he could be a knight, right? He has a sword right there. He is the vassal of the king. So he's subordinate, lower in rank. Whatever you want to organize it, right? If you think about it in the way of how the school's organized, right? You have principal at the top, and then the vice principal or assistant principal, and you have teachers, and then at the very bottom you have the students, right? So thinking of that kind of organization, the students are the lowest of the vassals, right? Just above them are teachers, and just barely, right? Okay, so now we're going to start talking specifically about each of those steps in feudalism. So at the very top, like I said, you had the monarch, which is a head of the state or head of state, such as a king or queen. And yeah, you know what a king and queen does. They kind of sit around, they tell other people what to do, and they make treaties, organize territories, all those good things. And yes, that is a picture of the current Queen of England. Yeah, she has sat on the throne for 63 years, which is the longest of any royal monarch in England, which is kind of cool. A hierarchy. It's a system or organization in which people or groups are ranked one above the other according to status or authority. Remember how I had talked about in one about vassals, right? Where you had thinking of the organization of a business or a school. You have the very top, right? You have the top, you have the bosses, okay? And you have managers. At the very bottom, you have workers. Why do these workers have bandanas and beards and a little beanie? I don't know. But they are set up in this way to make sure that people do their jobs, right? So if you're a worker at the bottom, you have to do what your manager says, and the managers, well, they have to do what the boss says. It worked very similarly in feudalism, okay? A manor is a feudal lordship consisting of a lord's lands rented to tenants. If we look at the image here, okay, all of this is the manor, everything, all the land, okay? It belongs to the lord. The lord's castle is right here in the middle, right? He has his fields, pasture, a little church, more fields. Serfs, those are going to be the very poor people, the peasants, okay? They would work the land, work the mill, produce all the goods, everything for the Lord, right? Okay, our last term is a fief, which is a section of land that was gifted by a king to his vassal. I really like the little rhyme that they put right here, saying it wasn't stolen, he was not a thief, it was a land gift called a fief. So a gift is a fief. What is gifting is land in the form of a manor. So if you look at this little flow chart here, right? Land gift, land gift equals fief. A fief given to a vassal, someone lower than the king, right? Such as a noble or a knight. And it would include all of the things on the land. That is a fief, right? A fief is a gift in the form of land that includes a manor house, village, church, peasants, serfs, mills, river, what have you, right? So that is the last of our terms. In summary, the terms feudalism, allegiances, vassal, hierarchy, monarch, manor, and fief. Together they help us understand how life was organized in medieval Europe to ensure the safety of all and the survival, most importantly. Okay, so quick review. Feudalism, the system and way which things were organized during medieval Europe, which included allegiances between kings and knights and other vassals. Remember, vassals are people that are subordinate to somebody else. In the form of a hierarchy, you have many vassals, people that are below or above other people. At the very top of the hierarchy, you have the monarch, which can then gift manors in the forms of fiefs to those vassals that are beneath him or her. Okay, so those are our terms. They will help us better understand the time period that we're studying. And that's all for this lecture. I'll see you guys next time.